Well, obviously, there's a lot going on right now about government and the countries and the different leaders who are in charge of all of the countries. And obviously, the most dominant one is the issue in the States, in America, with President Trump, and here in Canada, it's with our leader Trudeau. Um, even doing this video is something I'm very, I don't know, I just don't want to do this because I honestly, at the end of the day, I don't, I don't care, and I don't, and I mean that as I don't even know if there's a best way to say that, but I honestly don't care. I'm not the type of person that follows politics, and I'm not the type of person to choose a side and bash the other side or anything like that. In all honesty, I know very little um, about the governments and the ins and outs of all of those things and everything that's involved with that, and the people who are leading each one right now. I don't know. However, um, when it comes to the issue of voting, there's a hesitancy in me to even speak about it because regardless of what I say, there's going to be an attack from some sort of person or the other. One group of people or the other is not going to like what's said. So, if I tell you to vote this way, or if I say I vote that way, they're going to come from the other side, or and vice versa. My stance even now is I'm not the type of person to rush to the voting polls. I'm really not. I'm very, I mean, I'm in my 40s now, so I've been eligible to vote for a long time now, and I think I've voted twice in my region, in my city. It's partly because I'm not interested and I don't care, and that might sound harsh, but there is an explanation to it. But the other part of it is that I just don't trust a single person or a single word that's coming out of their mouth. This is what I know. In my 40s, this is what I know. There's two ways it can go. If you want a bunch of programs and you want doctors, faster waiting rooms, you want school supplies, programs, resources, all of those kinds of things, then you're going to have to pay taxes. It's as simple as that. If you don't want to pay taxes, you don't want higher taxes and all of those kinds of things, then you're going to have to realize that things are going to have to sacrifice for that. And that's why there's little doctors and no nurses and teachers. They're all on strike right now, currently as we speak, for 100% legitimate reasons. But you can't have both. There's that old saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's the situation we're in. And it might sound like pessimistic or, like hopeless or whatever. And I'm almost at the place where I'm like, it is hopeless. And there's greed and there's corruption and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that go into that. But for me personally, I just don't trust any of them. And I haven't trusted anybody in that regard when it comes to voting for somebody specifically, because what they say is not true. You cannot give me more programs, more resources, more things for my kids, longer longer day camps, nurseries, longer kindergarten programs and after school programs. You can't give me all of that without taxing me. And anybody who says otherwise is a liar. I'm sorry. I know that there's a whole wide array and gambit of things that go into political parties and what they believe in, what they are pitching. The reality is that the solutions that we need are going to take way more than 4 years, which in our country is what you have. And so in 4 years, it's very rare. There's back-to-back governments. It happens, but it's rare. So nobody can stand up there and tell me that they're going to change the future of my kids and this country in 4 years. It's not going to happen. You need way more time. It's too far gone. It's too far gone to change anything in 4 years. And in reality, what needs to happen is like back in the old days where it's just like a hard reset. Everybody's debts are forgiven. All of that kind of stuff is just glossed over. Everybody resets to zero. But that will never happen. Not in this lifetime. It's just not going to happen. And so I understand about the right to vote. And I understand, trust me 100% when I say that I understand that there are minority groups who have fought for years and years and years for the right to vote. And as a man of my skin color who's always had that right, histories, generations, all of this stuff, I 100% understand that. I absolutely understand it. I sympathize with it. I'm all for all of it that has happened and it's right and all of that good stuff. However, I also have the right not to vote. And until I see somebody stand on any pulpit or any pitch any kind of presentation or whatever, until I look a man or a woman in their face and I believe that they're telling the truth, then they get my vote. That hasn't happened. I don't know if it will ever happen. And I do apologize if it offends anybody or if it makes anybody upset. Like I said, it doesn't matter what I would have said right now, somebody's not going to like it. That's totally cool. However, that's my stance. And as unfortunate as it sounds, I just don't know if or when I will ever vote again.